Let's start with the Secret Service director grilled over Trump assassination attempt.
Tell us what went wrong. A special agent in
impersonator.
charge, the person who was there. Tell us, and don't try and play a shell game with us. Do you have the ability to effectively, as the director of this agency, to understand what went wrong and at least tell us, I do or don't know what I'm doing?
CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane is on Capitol Hill. So, Scott, is the committee actually hoping to learn something, or is this really an opportunity for them to lash out at the director?
They're vocalizing their concerns that they're not learning anything today. The Secret Service director has begged off a number of questions about what went wrong. How did somebody who was deemed suspicious not get stopped, get lost in the shuffle? How was the former president allowed to take the stage when somebody was suspicious nearby? It's a whole series of questions being asked of Secret Service Director Kim Cheadle, but the answers are not satisfying members of either party.
I think this hearing shows how incompetent, out-of-touch C-suites and directors are. Not only that, once again, this hearing shows that none of these people care about anything, or at least most of them. The vast majority don't care and are just trying to get clips. Because, behold, Representative Pat Fallon from Texas angrily describes how he recreated the Trump assassination attempt with an AR-15 and had 15 out of 16 kill shots. He's just bragging about his accuracy.
I own an AR-15, and last time I shot it one time my whole life. It was 6 years ago. That is until Saturday, where we recreated the events in Savoy, Texas. We recreated what happened in Butler. I was lying prone on a sloped roof at 130 yards at 6:30 at night. And I knew that he had a scope. I didn't know what kind, red dot or magnified. So I shot 8 rounds from both.
I thought he didn't have a scope.
You know what the result was? 15 out of 16 kill shots. And the one I missed would have hit the president's ear. That's a 94% success rate.
That's not where your ear is. That's your neck. Oh, guarding Doritos. Oh. I'm confused. What's his point? His point is that, like, Donald Trump could have been killed, which, yeah, we know. We know. And also, again, it's for the clips. He's saying,
I'm actually a really good shot, by the way.
Like, congressional hearing version of shooting a gun in a campaign ad. His point is he doesn't want the investigation to continue. Oh, I'm sure he wants the investigation to continue, but he wants it under the presumption that the entire thing was a failure, which we already know. We already know. They don't want there to be any notion that all of the procedures were followed. There was a Marge clip. Does somebody have that one? I think Recount has it. Jim Jordan also got his clip in.
Because both statements can't be true. Were you guessing or lying when you said you didn't turn down requests from President Trump's detail?
Neither, sir, and I appreciate the question.
Well, what were you doing? Because those statements don't jive.
So what I can tell you is that for the event in Butler, there were no requests that were denied. As far as requests...
Well, maybe they got tired of asking. Maybe you turned them down so darn much, they said, not worth asking. How many times did you turn them down ahead of that?
I need to remind everybody that Donald Trump's security detail is notoriously relaxed because he doesn't like not being able to rub elbows with people. He doesn't like his security detail being super overbearing. It's just a jerk fest for him. It really is. Big talk from a guy famous for losing track of 20-year-old boys. Yeah. When does he admit to knowing his athletes were being abused by their coach? He will take that to the grave. He will never admit to it, and he will never see consequences for it.
I think that it is important to distinguish between what some people may view as a denial of an asset or a request.
Well, is Mr. Guglielmi your spokesperson? He said he acknowledged the Secret Service had turned down some requests. I'm asking how many?
A denial of a request does not equal a vulnerability.
Well, tell me what it is.
There are a number of ways that threats and
Jordan
risks...
is just posturing, but I do think that the director should resign as they have one job that they utterly failed at. I agree. I don't think anyone in their right mind would say that the director should not step down. You should just do it out of shame alone, even if every procedure was followed. Clearly, it wasn't enough, and I will always remind people that the cops were in charge of that area. The local cops were in charge of that area, but are they grilling the local police department in this hearing? No. But I will say the Secret Service did have a lapse in security, and she should resign simply because of the consequences of this failure. It's one thing for somebody to get shot in the butt at a congressional baseball game, Scalise. It's a whole other thing for a presidential nominee, former president, to almost get shot in the head. Yeah, you should resign. Just out of shame. Didn't realize you couldn't see the pin. I asked Secret Service to get me 2 fillet of fish. They only brought me 1. My life is in danger. Let's look at Marge, because she had a real funny clip. Yikes, the hearing is off the rails.
The people there knew that there was a danger. They knew there was a threat to President Trump, and it was allowed to happen. Was there a stand-down order, Ms. Cheadle? Was there a conspiracy to kill President Trump?
Absolutely not.
Then how did this happen? And why are you still sitting here not turning in your letter of resignation? No, you knew that
That's so funny. Was there a conspiracy? Always, dude. Always. She can't help herself.
Why was Crooks not shot by the snipers?
She's so caught up trying to be loud and trying to get this clip out that she said snooper. He was on a sloped roof, okay? The roof slooped. He had a droop sloop.
What do you consider to be a threat? A man with a gun laying in a sniper position, a man that had a backpack, a man that had a bicycle, a man that had a rangefinder. At what point is he determined a threat?
I love this idea of someone with a backpack is a threat. I'm sorry, are you the TSA? A bicycle? How is a bicycle a threat? Even like a rangefinder. A rangefinder is not that crazy. It should raise some suspicions, right? Especially if it's like a real rangefinder and not just like, you know, a telescope, right? Maybe you want to get a good look at them. Maybe it's a camera. You don't know unless you like get a real good look at them.
What about a man laying on a building that has direct line of sight of President Trump with a gun that people are screaming and pointing out? Is that a threat, Ms. Cheadle?
Once that individual was identified, they were neutralized.
No, they were neutralized. Crooks was neutralized after he shot President Trump in the face, Ms. Cheadle.
I love that we are constantly exaggerating and building up. This is like when Israel talks about like fighting Hamas or what happened on October 7th and constantly has to like double down and like make it sound more gruesome every time they talk about it. You know, this was a barbaric, horrifying, it was a Holocaust. It was literally a genocide. What happened on October 7th? They were doing mass rape. They were cutting off titties and using them as soccer balls. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. You're crazy. You're insane. Like, this has been recreated, by the way, by some gun tubers. Yeah, here it is.
On July 13th, 2024.
Yeah, Brandon Herrera recreated the Trump shooting, by the way.
So there's 3 main things that I want to address today. First 2 are demonstrations to kind of dispel a lot of conspiracy theories right now. And the third is the third thing, it's just because I think it's really cool. We're going to be replicating the return shot on the shooter from the Secret Service sniper rifle. Firing. Oh yeah, I think that was it. Oh yeah, that was the fucking money shot right there. Oh, that was fucking perfect. Yeah.
Right. If it went through like that, his ear's coming off. Like a chunk of it's coming off. We have confirmation it was a bullet or the glass. The doctor, the hospital statement was that he was admitted for a bullet wound. It doesn't even make sense for it to be the teleprompters. Yeah, fuck you, you attacked my favorite president.
Without further ado, let's go ahead and take this shot.
Why is he not elevated?
3, 2, 1. I think we hit him. Oh, he fell down.
I mean, hey, let it be known that that's not only not the ammo that they were using or the powder gram that they were using, but that's not what the shooter looked like after he was shot.